Page 22, Spanish Dance. In this lesson, they're introducing you to the primary chords in B minor. As long as you understand how primary chords work, it doesn't matter what the key is, you can figure them out. That says it's kind of important you know them, so let's go over them. The numbers are 1, 4, and the 5, or 5, 7. That's in any key. Those are the numbers of the primary chords. There's 3 of them. 1, 4, 5, 7. Go to C major. All the way keys. 1 chord is built on step 1. The 4 chord, 1, 2, built on step 4. And the 5 chord is built on step 5. We add the 7th on it. And since we don't want to move around, we use the inversion. So it's here. The 4 chord, the top 2 notes go up in the key. Next note up. This goes to here and this goes to here. Bottom note's the same. That's the 4 chord. And the 5, 7 chord, the top 2 notes in the position are used, and the bottom note goes down a half step here. Little finger goes down. So it's 1, 4, 5, 7. Should do it in both hands. They all work the same way. Major, minor, doesn't matter. So let's go to B minor. B minor is relative to D major. So B minor has 2 sharps, an F sharp and a C sharp. Okay. Also in B minor, we're going to use the harmonic minor, which means we're going to raise the 7th step, which is here. Instead of an A, we're going to use an A sharp. So the chords, the 1 chord is every other note in the key, starting on first step, 1. So in B minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm using harmonic minor here. And 1 is here. So it's every other note. Here. So it's a B minor chord or a 1 chord in the key of B minor. It's always a B minor chord, no matter what the key is, because the bottom note's a B and it's every other note in the key. Okay. Now the 4 chord is 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's every other note in the key. That's 4 chord. But again, we don't want to move around, so we're going to take this. I'm going to take the top 2 notes up 1 note in the key. So this goes up 1, and this goes up 1. So it's here. It's the 1, 4, 1. The 5, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every other note in the key, but I'm using harmonic minor now. That's the 5 chord, and then 1 more. See, it gets a little confusing when you start mixing black notes and white notes and think, wait a minute. Stay within the key. Start on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start on the 5th step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can go on up in the key. I'm just using notes in the key, but I'm using harmonic minor. Those notes, that's every other note. So it's a 5 chord with a 7th added. 5, 7. We don't need to use all 4 notes. 3 will do. We need the top and bottom, and either one of the middle. And we don't want to move around. So again, I'm going to use the top 2 notes in the position. Here. And the bottom note's going to go down a half step. So here. That's the 5, 7. So it's a 1, 4, 5, 7. All of them work the same way, so you can figure them out. You'll recognize them in the music as you get them over and over and over. You're going to get them so much. At the beginning of Spanish Dance in the left hand, this chord is a broken chord. You take all the notes in the measure. It's a broken chord. And in the second line, this chord, that's the 5, 7 chord. Because you'll learn to recognize the chords, and it makes reading the music a lot easier. Then you're not actually trying to figure out all these notes. You're just playing the chord. I'm sure they got a 4 chord over here somewhere. We'll get to it later. Let's talk Spanish Dance. I look it over. It's about a page and a half long. Treble, bass, clef, 2 sharps in the key signature. We already know it's in the key of B minor. Go ahead and do the scales and arpeggios, though, for D major and B minor. And time signature is 3/8 time. It's like 6/8 time, except there's only 3 beats instead of 6. But an eighth note gets a count, which explains all the eighth notes everywhere. And the 16th note then gets half a count. 1N, 2N, 3N. 1N, 2N, 3N. Okay, so at the beginning, right hand, you're here. It's 1N, 2N. 1N, 2N, 3N. 1. I don't like this. We got to use the little finger again. But in this case, we sort of have to. I mean, I could change the fingering not to, but it just makes the fingering more complicated. So just use a little finger on both, and it's here. There's your 4 chord. 3. Second line, that's a triplet. 1 and a 2. 1 and a 2 and 3N, or triplet. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Remember that the dotted quarter note is the same as 3/8 notes? Always. No matter what the time signature is, it always is. So in this case, since an eighth note gets a count, dotted quarter note gets 3. Let's go over to page 23. Second line, last measure. You're here. 1 and 2 and 3. See, the first 16th note is on beat 2. The left hand's playing on the beat. It's playing eighth notes. And this comes on the second eighth note. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2. 1 and 1 and. Now on the third line down, and the next to the last measure, the third line on page 23, you don't need a natural sign there. I don't understand why they're doing natural. Unless they're thinking, well, you're thinking harmonic minor. Well, that would be an A sharp in a harmonic minor. It doesn't matter. In the music, you got to use the notes in the key signature. So you're using natural minor. If you want to use harmonic minor, you have to put in accidentals. You have to put in the sharp in front of the A. If it doesn't have a sharp in front of it, it's an A natural. And there's no need for a natural sign here. All I can figure is maybe because the left hand had an A sharp earlier in the line, and the other, the left hand. Maybe they think, but it's not. You don't need that natural sign. I'd cross that natural sign out if I were your teacher. You get to depending on them, and no. Follow the rules. It's an A natural. 1 and. Last line, you're here. 1 and 2, 3, and during the rest you come up here. And the last measure, if you're not sure what it is spell it out. The right hand's doing the top 3 notes where the stem goes up. It's a D, an F sharp, and a B. It's a 1 chord. We just put the B on top here. Left hand's broken chords. 1. If you don't want to be up in here, you can do a 2, 3. I don't know how big your hands are. There's the 4 chord. 5, 7. Page 23, second line, last measure. Again, broken chords, but a different pattern. And now we're using the harmonic minor. That's the idea. Okay. Put the hands together, and I'll hesitate at first. That's okay. I don't care. It's just this here. 1 and 2. Second line, first measure. Together, together, though. And these 4 notes, the 4 notes in the triplet, and the note after, 4 notes, all have to be even. Ba, 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 bum. Yeah. Now, in the last line on page 23, you're here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, and you have 2 beats rest, and both hands are moving opposite directions. Well, isn't this going to be fun? You have 2 beats of rest. A couple of ways you can do it. You can try moving both hands at the same time. You're here, and you want to go here. You're using index finger on both hands. So you got both hands going in opposite directions. Or you use 1 beat to move one hand up and the other beat to move the other hand up. So you're moving them one at a time. because you're looking at one and then you're looking at the other, right? So one of the practice. You need to be able to do it either way, so practice that. Don't mess up the beat because you moved your hands. So somehow you got to go from here to here, here. Now once I have the hands together, I know what the fingering is. And to my surprise, I haven't changed the fingering in this piece at all. I usually always change fingering. But then I'll go through it slowly, maybe a line at a time or so, and I get rid of the hesitations. Speed is not important yet, but no hesitations. And after that, I have the articulation. And that's the staccato, just up here. And be careful on that, because when you do the staccato and you come up, you'll accidentally accent it. Don't. No, that natural accent's on the first beat. There's no accent on that. Be careful. Just staccato, but don't play it harder. And the left hand, I'm doing it, connecting that is just chop chuck. Now when I get to page 23, second line, last measure, now it's all connected here. You have to lift up for the rest in the right hand. There are a few accents, like the last line on page 23 there, the last three measures. Accent, just separate them just slightly. Just slightly. It's not short. No, just separate them. And the fermata at the end, I just hold that out as long as it feels right. If I play it with a metronome, I'll just double it and I'll hold it for 6 counts instead of 3. That's the way I do it. You can do it however you want to or however your teacher says. Now, once I have the articulation in, then I'll think about the dynamics. And this is loud at first, F forte. That's the melody, it's the right hand. This in the background, soft. And you're staying there to the second line on page 23. This a little softer, softer. Now super soft, because this is very soft. Third line, you're going to gradually get louder. And softer. It's kind of like a swell. They don't say how much louder to get. I suggest you only go up to about a moderately soft or so, and then back down to soft. And then the last line, the last measure, the fourth line on page 23, you have F subito. Subito means all of a sudden, suddenly, because you're soft in the measure before. Now all of a sudden, boom. Beethoven loved subitos. He used those a lot. It's just all of a sudden you're loud, and the repeat sign sends you back to the beginning because you have first and second endings on page 23. Yeah. The second time you do it, after you've repeated, on the third line, you're gradually getting louder. And it's like each measure got just a little louder. Now the second time you're going to skip the fourth line because that's the first ending. Jump to the last line, and you just keep getting louder. Now the last three measures, it says forte, and then they put accents on them. I think forte is probably loud enough. And then the last measure has an SF, or sforzando. Remember, a sforzando is the loudest accent there is. That is very loud. Let the wrist collapse a little bit. Don't pound on it. Come boom. Just very quickly with a lot of weight, and let the wrist collapse a little bit on that lat one. And once I have the dynamics in, then I'll think about the speed. Allegro's quick, but it depends on how fast you can play the hardest part. Like page 22, the second line, this part. How fast can you do those? However fast you can do those, that's going to be your Allegro. Everybody will be a little different. Then after all that, they've added pedal over here on page 23. Well, let's examine that then. What's going on? Why are we using pedal? Because you can play it just fine without. So what's it do? Well, in this case, it's providing the contrast between this and this. It's very connected. As far as the overtones go, I don't know that we need them, but we're having the contrast between the clean and this. They're very connected. So we're going to pedal there for about 3 lines or so on page 23. It's going to be overlapping pedal, and it's lag pedal. So the notes go down first and then the pedal. We're changing the pedal every time we change a chord in the left hand, and it's going to be changed right after we play the note, so it lags behind it just a little bit. On page 23 in the second line, notes first, then the pedal. I'm changing the pedal after I play the note. And here I'm going to change it on pretty much every measure. And in the third line, the third measure, that you need a change pedal there. I want to hear the rest in the right hand every time. I want to hear it throughout. I think that's an error. You should be changing the pedal here on every measure in that third line. We want to hear the rest. And the last line, change it on both measures. And then lift it up on the third measure. The last measure, you're going to do that. You can put the pedal down here with the notes because we want overtones immediately. And then lift the pedal in the hands at the same time in the last measure. And that's what I suggest on the pedaling. Now there is a note at the beginning of this, second time ABA, segue. I don't need the segue, I just do it. That means when you repeat it, instead of here, you're up here. Only the right hand. The left hand doesn't move. If they wanted both hands, they'd have to say so. So it's just the right hand. So when you do that on page 23 at the repeat, just you're up there. Left hand stays down here. Now on page 23 at the end of the second line, it says local or as written both times. In other words, when you're here, don't play them up here. Come down here and play them here. Both times you're doing it. The left hand never moved. You don't have to worry about it. So you're going to do that here both times. So you're moving around a little bit. You'll have to take it at that speed. You don't have to go that fast. You go however fast you can do that. That could be your speed. If you wanted to, you take it a little faster. Everybody will take it a little different, and it's all at the same speed. There's no slowing down or anything throughout those. On page 22 at the end of the first line, the little line, just linger on that. Just hang on to it. Hang on to it as long as you can, and can't do much lingering there because you got to keep the beat going. But the idea is don't cut it short.